The gods are dying, and the signs are everywhere you look. What if I told you that the ancient Norse prophecy of Ragnarok isn't just some old myth collecting dust in history books? What if the end of the gods, the twilight of divine power, is actually happening right now in our world? Today, we're diving deep into Ragnarok, the most terrifying prophecy ever written, and exploring whether the signs point to something much bigger than we ever imagined. If you want to uncover more hidden truths about ancient mysteries, hit that subscribe button. Picture this. It's a cold winter morning in ancient Scandinavia. An old storyteller sits by the fire, his weathered face glowing in the flickering light. Children gather around him, eyes wide with fear and wonder. He begins to speak about the end of everything they know, the death of gods, the destruction of worlds. This isn't just entertainment, this is Ragnarok. Ragnarok means twilight of the gods in Old Norse. But calling it just twilight is like calling a hurricane a light breeze. This prophecy describes the complete and total destruction of the divine order. Every god you've heard of, Odin, Thor, Freyr, they all die, not retire, not fade away. They die in the most brutal war ever imagined. The story starts with the death of Balder, the most beloved god in Asgard. Balder was pure light, joy, and goodness. His mother Frigg made everything in the 9 worlds promise not to harm her son. Everything except mistletoe, which seemed too small and innocent to matter. Loki, the trickster god, discovered this one weakness. He crafted a spear from mistletoe and tricked the blind god Hodur into throwing it at Balder during what was supposed to be harmless fun. The spear pierced Balder's heart, and he died instantly. That moment changed everything. The gods' grief turned to rage. They bound Loki beneath the earth with serpent venom dripping on his face. His wife Sigyn holds a bowl to catch the drops, but when she empties it, the venom hits Loki's skin and his screams shake the earth. We call these earthquakes. But this torture won't last forever. When Loki breaks free, Ragnarok begins. The prophecy tells us exactly how it starts. 3 years of endless winter, called the Fimbulwinter. No summer comes to break the cold. Snow falls constantly. The sun grows dim and weak. During this time, people lose all morality. Brothers kill brothers. Fathers turn against sons. The bonds that hold society together snap like frozen rope. Then the monsters come. Fenrir, the giant wolf that the gods chained because they feared his growing power, breaks his magical bonds. His jaws are so massive that when he opens his mouth, his lower jaw touches the earth while his upper jaw scrapes the sky. The Midgard serpent, so large it wraps around the entire world, thrashes in the ocean and creates tsunamis that flood the land. The dead rise from their graves and march in ghostly armies. Loki leads this army of monsters and dead souls against Asgard itself. The gods see them coming. Heimdall, the watchman of the gods, blows his horn to sound the alarm. The note carries across all 9 worlds, a sound so terrible it makes the mountains tremble. This is the call to the final battle. The Battle of Ragnarok isn't like any war humans have ever fought. Gods face their destined enemies in single combat. Odin, the All-Father, king of the gods, fights Fenrir the wolf. Thor battles the Midgard serpent. Freyr faces Surtur, the fire giant. Each god knows exactly who will kill them, yet they march to battle anyway. This isn't about winning. This is about facing destiny with courage. One by one, the gods fall. Odin gets swallowed whole by Fenrir, though his son Vidar immediately kills the wolf by tearing its jaws apart. Thor defeats the Midgard serpent, but dies from its poison 9 steps later. Freyr falls to Surtur's flaming sword because he gave away his own magical weapon long ago for love. The gods don't just lose the battle, they're completely destroyed. Then comes the fire. Surtur sets all the 9 worlds ablaze. The world tree Yggdrasil, which connects all reality, burns. Stars fall from the sky like dying embers. The earth sinks into the sea. Everything that ever existed turns to ash and smoke. This is the end of everything. But here's where Ragnarok becomes truly fascinating. The prophecy doesn't end with destruction. After the fire burns out and the floods recede, a new earth rises from the waters. It's green and beautiful, more perfect than the old world. Some gods survive hidden in the roots of Yggdrasil. A human couple hides in the world tree too and repopulates the earth. The sun, before it dies, gives birth to a daughter who lights the new sky. Death leads to rebirth. Now here's the question that should make your spine tingle. Is this actually happening right now? Think about the signs. Climate change is bringing us extreme winters and burning summers. Political systems are collapsing as people lose faith in their leaders. Wars rage across the globe. Ancient ice caps are melting and flooding coastlines. The powerful abuse their positions while the innocent suffer. Look deeper. Religious belief is declining in many parts of the world. People are turning away from traditional gods and faiths. The old moral codes that held societies together are breaking down. We're witnessing what looks exactly like the death of divine authority that Ragnarok describes. But maybe this isn't something to fear. Maybe we're watching the old world die so a new one can be born. The gods in Norse mythology weren't meant to rule forever. They were always destined to fall so something better could take their place. Their deaths weren't failures. They were necessary sacrifices for renewal. The ancient Norse understood something we often forget. Nothing lasts forever. Not gods, not kingdoms, not civilizations. But destruction isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. The world that rises after Ragnarok is more beautiful than the one that burned. The gods who survive are wiser than their predecessors. The humans who inherit the earth start fresh without the mistakes of the past. So when you look at our chaotic world and wonder if everything is falling apart, remember Ragnarok. Remember that the Norse didn't fear the twilight of the gods. They saw it as the dawn of something better. The old world has to die for the new world to live. The gods have to fall for humanity to rise. And maybe, just maybe, we're living through that transformation right now. The prophecy isn't a warning about the end. It's a promise of what comes after. Subscribe if you want to explore more ancient wisdom that might change how you see the world.